Okay. This is not where we expected to be here. Let me let Leah know that we're over here. This is supposed to be Facebook Live, and it was supposed to start 15 minutes ago, and we made a quick switch. So I'm going to give a little extra time for everybody to hopefully make their way over here, and anyone who might be on Facebook waiting. So I'm definitely gonna stall a little longer, and I'm so sorry. Facebook decided to go and do an update on us, and that kind of kicked everything in the pants there, so that things weren't working like they normally would, of course. And as usual, the real irony was that I was actually ahead this morning, so I was like, you know, everything's set up 15 minutes early, and about 5 minutes I was getting on to go live, so all I had to do was click the button, and technology killed us. So all right, so I see a few people coming over here. Like I said, sorry again for the delay. What are you gonna do? I mean, it is what it is. I'm gonna sip a little more of my tea here. I'm seeing lots. Hi, Daniel, Diane, Natalie, Noelle. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but I remember seeing you the other day when I was behind the camera. Hi, Dee, and Carol and Jackie and Sonia. Yes, Teresa, I was just saying we were this is supposed to be Thursday Facebook Live, but yes, gremlins, Laura, you said it right. That is the right way to phrase that. Let me get this loaded here on my phone. I know, I should just learn that when I'm I shouldn't say that always, but I feel like when I'm last minute, everything works like it should. And when I am ahead, that's when everything goes wrong. Just like kicks me in the pants, like, oh, you think you were going to be early? No, that's not how it's going to go. All right. Yes. Yes, I'm glad I left the message on Facebook, so hopefully everyone gets a chance to get caught up over there. I'm going to let's see, let me find YouTube here on my phone so that I can, there we go. I'm used to doing Facebook Live, so I'm kind of sorting this out. Usually Leah is on YouTube Live, so getting it sorted out here. My channel, there we go. Now I can see comments this way. Oh goodness, we don't need extra volume there. That's not okay. All right. Okay, so we got about 30 people on here, right, Kinnery? There's always something. All right. Hi, Leah. I see Leah's back there. Oh, thank you, Kathy. I actually just got it cut day before yesterday, so it's a brand new. So you actually haven't missed anything. Okay, we got a few people on, so let's go over some of the usual things. I'll probably recap when we get started. Fortunately, we're using some of this new beautiful washi. I'm going to show you this one. I don't have a favorite. I keep thinking I have a favorite, but my favorite is whichever one I pick up and get my hands on. But if you were here on Tuesday, you saw Leah already show off a little bit of this washi release. It's going to be going live on our store on Monday. So this isn't available yet. I had tons of people going, where can I buy it? Where can I find it? It will be available on Monday. So this is kind of your little advanced sneak peek just to kind of show you a little bit so you're all ready when it goes live. So if you loved, a couple of years ago, we had some washi that had coordinating dies. Here, I'm going to fix my camera just a little there. And it was 5.5 inches wide. It was kind of hard to work with and pull out. It would kind of stretch and get stuck. So we've spent a lot of time working to get it just right. And this is so perfect and so much better. It is, let me measure real quick because about 4 inches wide. So it's perfect to just go the long way instead of the horizontal way on an A2 card. And of course it comes with coordinating washi. It's got beautiful, I don't know if the camera picks up that gold foiling on there. So gorgeous. And then of course, like I said, there's a coordinating one-piece die and a beautiful stamp set that goes with the whole thing. So we're going to be playing with a little bit of all of that today. And I have a card, excuse me, I thought I was going to come down with a cold here this morning. my daughter has caught a cold here in the last couple of days. So knock on wood that I can avoid that. I had a little bit of a sore throat yesterday, but just hoping that was it. So here's the card we're going to make. Lately, I haven't had a completed card. This one today, just because I've been playing with the washi so much and they're so easy and wonderful and fun to use, I actually have a whole card finished. So, all right, I see quite a few people. This is like our normal Facebook Live numbers, I think. So I'm going to go ahead and switch my camera. We'll go ahead and get started. If anyone comes in a little late, I'll just apologize. It'll always be available on rewatch. I just don't want to stall too long for all of you that are here now watching. So let's see if we can get this camera switched and make sure it's working and looking good. Oh, and hold on, I need to close my window. The sun, there we go. The sun has been undecided if it wants to come out or stay behind the clouds here this morning. So I've been trying to keep the curtain open so I can enjoy the sunshine and beautiful weather and everything. Okay, and yes, like Leah just said, we are so excited about this washi release. So half of the problem with us showing sneak peeks is we're just so excited. We can't wait to show you guys and share it with you. So we're going to be using, like I said, pretty much everything from this one panel of this washi, and I'll pull it off and show you, but it perfectly matches the stamp set. So that's how long it goes. And then the die will cut it off all in one piece. And all the sentiments on these sets are so, so, so beautiful. I'm actually, you're going to get a little sneak peek at a different set today because the sentiment I'm using, these ones didn't fit in the card I ended up putting together. So I'm using a sentiment from another one of the stamp sets. So I'll sneak you a peek at that today. But let's go ahead and get started here with the washi. And looks like our numbers have even gone up more. So I think more people have caught up and found us. So now Leah showed one way that she likes to do this washi the other day. And it's very similar to how I do it, but I noticed I did a little different. She did half a panel of white cardstock, and then she put a little on there, pulled it off and cut it, and then set it on there. What I found works for me. So I have a bunch of pre-made 4x9 card bases, and then I also created just a bunch of 4x9 panels. So just because then I can trim them down, I can die cut them, whatever, to fit the front, and it's nice and easy. So the same size as my card base, and I found that was the perfect size for a panel of this washi. So all I'm gonna do, and look at how easy, isn't that gorgeous, just how that pulls out? All I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull this off, and because this washi is 4 inches wide, I can perfectly set that in place. I can pull what's left off here. And I don't know if you can see, I'm not working super hard here to make this happen. And then I just pressed it in place like that. And then I could come in really quick and easy there. I could peel that up just a smidge. And it's really easy for me to come around and cut that washi off. And then just press it back into place. And I know Leah had a little tool that she used to kind of press it all in place. I feel like this, I mean, just my fingertips, I can just smooth it into place, and it's perfectly smooth with almost no effort. I don't know if you can see. It's just, it's perfect. It's gorgeous. This stuff is so incredibly fun. And I love the colors on this one. I know, Teresa, it is a little hard to wait. I know I have that. Anyway, but at least I guess the bonuses is then you know you can kind of start planning ahead what you want, and so you know you don't have to get the whole thing. What I love about these whole sets and trios, and this is kind of the way, I haven't used the stamp sets too much. I have seen some great projects already, just like heat embossing on vellum, or I'm picturing emboss resist, or coloring if you want to use markers, if you want to use watercolors, colored pencils, whatever you want to use to color these. And because the dies, I mean, you can see on there, the dies match perfectly on the stamp as well as over the die. But what I kind of see is it's nice to invest in the die with the washi. And if I'm honest, I'm kind of obsessed with the washi at this point. So I know I'm going to be using the washi a bunch, but investing in a set of dies just for a roll of washi that eventually is going to run out. And then what are you going to do with the dies? Well, there you go. Then you have the stamp set to keep those dies going and useful and everything else. on and on and on forever. And yes, I think, yes, this is the same designer for this stamp, or this Stampin' Washi, as for the set that Leah showed the other day. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead. I found when I did this, let me grab my big tape roll. So because the washi is kind of a smooth surface, what I found worked best for me, my plate is kind of warped there, so I'm gonna just set that off to the side. Using some good sturdy tape and taping it really well kind of helped me out. So I'm gonna make sure I get this lined up just right, which is so easy. And then I'm doing a lot like Leah does when she's using stencils. I'm putting the tape on there and then pulling it up to get it recentered again, because it tended to slide a little when I first set it down. And so by putting it, getting the tape on there and ready, then it made it a little bit easier for me to tape it and hold it in place. Oh, thank you for sharing, Sharon. I forgot to mention, as we were sorting out, I got all flustered with technology issues this morning. So do make sure and leave those comments. Make sure and click the share button if you're able. If you have somewhere that you can share them. And then we'll pick a $15 gift card winner. Definitely well-deserved for everyone hanging in and finding us over here. All right, I'm gonna go die cut this real quick and I will be right back. All right, we were kind of saying the other day that it feels like this is the new, you know, we play with stencils and there's that magic reveal. This feels like that new magic reveal. Pulling all of the pre-cut washi and all these pieces that you have just all at once, one pass through the machine, and it's perfect and all ready to go. Okay, get all that tape off. Yes, this washi, we are, like I said, we're over the moon about how well these are working. I'm just in love with how easy it is to make. And again, if washi's not your thing, I'm pretty excited about the stamp sets too, because I know those are gorgeous, but I think the washi is just such a fun element. Okay, so when I first started playing this card, I actually, so let's see here. I've got my card base. I pre-die cut. This is the slim braided circles. Let me pull out the die. I just went ahead and die cut that in advance because it's nothing super fancy. Slim stitched scallop circles. It's one of my favorite slimline dies there. And then I have just a panel of some light blue cardstock. This one is actually 9-inch went through. Carol, I have a Gemini Junior. So the die, it fits right inside those plates. I don't know if every one of those works, but you can see the size of this die. It just fits edge to edge there with a tiny bit. So I think Spellbinders might be slightly tapered, so I don't know if you have to do that in 2 passes. And then one other thing I was going to mention, I know Leah was talking about this on, because the stamp set, also, you can see it on there, it's all one, that's all one big piece. So when you stamp that, when you stamp it, you can also die cut that in one piece. However, I know there was some discussion about Misty's, and I don't remember, I haven't checked on mine yet to see. So yes, so this is a little big for the regular size Misty. So you'd need a memory Misty, or we have a video on our page for a way to use the outside of the Misty. You can just scroll back on there and you'll find that, or it's posted on our website under the tips and tricks. But one other thing I was going to mention, if you don't want to fiddle with it and you don't want to invest, and if you're brave enough to do it, you could easily cut this apart here. We kept it in one piece, but you could cut it apart if you wanted. And then, I mean, the beauty of that still is this die is still one piece, but you could still run through and just die cut that piece. And then you could still die cut all these little pieces in one pass. So So that's just another option that I was going to point out. Obviously, they're all together in one piece, which is great. But if you want them and you don't want to have to fiddle with different ways to use your MISTI, that's a great way just to kind of simplify that a little as well. Okay, get that tape out of the way. Oh, I could just sit and drool over these pieces all day. Anybody else? All right, so let's go ahead and move on here. I need to focus on finishing, not just drooling over the pretty washi. I just trimmed this into a 4-inch panel. I don't want it as big. I want to leave a little bit of a border around with it. So I could trim it down, but I want to make sure that I get it right where I want it to fit. So kind of my cheater quick way to do this is just to place the piece I want, quickly tape it in place with a little removable adhesive, and then I can pull my paper trimmer over, and then it's really quick and easy just to trim it down. I could adhere it straight down, but I still want to stamp my sentiment on there before I do that. So this just kind of streamlines that process and makes it a bit easier for me. And again, for anybody who's asking, this release, this washi will go live on Monday. There'll be a huge blog hub, and we're also beginning something new on Friday of next week, not tomorrow, but we're going to be doing an Instagram hop as well. Okay, so this is all ready to go. Now, when I first planned this design, I actually finished this card without even using this piece. I just kind of arranged all these around the circles and I put it aside, and it was okay, but I kept looking at it and feeling like it needed something else. So what I did end up doing that you'll see is I trimmed this in half, and I end up using both halves on there. But let's go ahead, before I jump ahead too far, let's go ahead and do our sentiment in the middle. And that's where you're going to get one more tiny sneak peek at another set that is releasing as well. Now, once again, I have my regular MISTI out here, but as you can see, my panel is a little bit too big. But you know what? For stamping a sentiment, that is not a problem. And I'll show you why, because we can just curve that little extra out of the edge and you're never even going to notice it. Okay. So my sentiment comes from this set called Joyful Bouquet. And wait till you see the washi that goes with this one. But I'm going to use this little sentiment. In fact, I even thought about using that one, but I think, you know what, I'm going to stick with the same one because I'm afraid if I get too far, that then I won't be able to fit my washi in there how I want to. So we're just going to stick with how we had it to start with. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get this sentiment lined up in here where I want it. I'm going to go ahead and pick it up on the lid of my MISTI. And then I'm going to pick this up. I'm going to pull this white panel off just so I don't slip and get any, black ink somewhere where I don't want it. Make sure and hold that in place. And again, it's curving off the edge of my MISTI, but this is just the sentiment, so it's not going to mess that up at all. Okay. There is this beautiful detailed little sentiment. I'm going to stamp it twice, just being careful to ink it up, not too crazy. And I forgot I could have pulled out my ink cube to do that, but that's okay. Stamp it 3 times just because I don't think I inked it very heavy the first time because I was trying to be so careful. Let's see. Did you want the sentiments that came on the set I used for the sentiment? Because that we have believe in yourself, things will work out. That's the one I'm using today. Trust that where you are today matters for who you will be tomorrow. There is purpose in the season you are in. Find joy in your journey. Breathe and let go of what no longer serves you. So those are all the sentiments. There's some really great sentiments in the set we are using today too. They just didn't quite fit in my circle. You are such a beautiful soul that people crave your vibes. There's a sneak peek on there that Leah posted, I think yesterday, that uses that sentiment. Don't be busy doubting yourself while others are intimidated by your potential. And what a great one is this. I hope you feel beautiful today. So lots of really great sentiments on all of these sets, which is another bonus for the stamp set. Oh, glad that you tried that Misty hack. I actually have not tried it yet, but I mean, I know the stamper who did it is on the Misty design team, and it was inspired by someone in our Pink Fresh Friends group. So that's another great reason to follow along over there. We have customers with really great ideas. So, all right, I'm going to keep this simple. I'm using some foam adhesive on the flowers, but I'm going to just adhere this straight down onto my card base today. I did notice, where is it there? I have one little hole that I didn't get. I gotta fix that now, because now I'm thinking about it. There we go. One of those little holes that I didn't get punched out all the way. All right, so let's go ahead and get this. And it's such a big long strip. I'm trying to be really careful to make sure I have it straight before I stick it down. Okay, hopefully you can still see that. I was trying not to go off camera to get it over my face well enough. Okay, and then I'm gonna actually just, let's see, no, I'm not gonna yet. No, I'm gonna wait because I wanna get all of these pieces kind of adhered on here. And this is where I'm just gonna start kind of playing with my arrangement. So I'm gonna show you kind of what I had initially to start with. Let's see, I'm gonna put that one there. And I think, so you've got these 3 great curved pieces to start with. And those alone, that's pretty fun. Like I can enjoy and work with that. But then I had these extra ones and I kind of thought, okay, let's layer those over the top just to add a little more dimension, which was kind of fun. And again, just added one more little touch. And then this is where I finished it. I added a little bit of, I actually added the bling at this point. And then I decided, oh, I've got these great openings here. I can fit a little more on there and a little more tucked under there. So let's get these popped on with foam adhesive. That's what I did first the other day. And then we can move on and cut that in half. It's always a little scary doing that, but it's worth it, I promise. In these rolls of washi, there are 10 meters. So there, I mean, you saw the panels are about 9 inches long. So I can't talk and do math, but basically you're getting a lot of this washi. So there's tons and tons of card making fun to be had with this. All right, once I get that adhered on there with the foam adhesive, I could have done this before, but I like to kind of curve up the edges a little bit around all the loose pieces, just to kind of, I mean, it makes it a little less flat and two-dimensional, even with the foam adhesive. Yes, and peekaboo sentiment. I know, and I didn't want to cover that one up there, but at the same time, that flower was so similar. I just decided that it kind of just worked there. It seemed a little crazy, but it really just worked. And again, I've got so much of this that originally, like I said, I hadn't planned on, hold on, I gotta think here for a minute, make sure I'm placing this where I want. Okay, and this one, I know, tucking the flowers in, oh my goodness. Right, Leah? So crazy addicting. Okay, get that there. And before I stick this on, I realized I needed to kind of, I struggle with that word, zhuzh. I can't make my mouth say it. Curl up the sides. I don't know why that word is hard for me to say. Am I the only one? Tell me I'm not the only one. Okay, and then I only put a little foam adhesive behind that one, so then I can curl up all the other edges on there. Just a little bit. And the washi, a lot of times when you stick it down and you try to curl this up, I feel like it's harder to curl up. You almost have to do it before. But this washi is just, it's like butter. You can just slide your fingers on it and get that perfect little touch on it. I don't know how else to describe it. It's just, again, so addicting. That's a good word, Leah. I know we're all kind of just hooked on using this beautiful stuff. Okay, let me plan here. So I'm trying to kind of do it so that it lets a little bit of that back flower peek out still. Hold on. There we go. Just wanted to plan where I wanted to pop that on there. Okay, so stick that down. Let's curl up those edges a little. Juge. That, yeah, that does help a little, Carol. I don't know why. I think I actually might have said that. Spelling it out. I feel like it's like what you do with your kids when they don't know how to read yet. Okay, this one I'm going to curl up before I put it down. Juge. That does help a little, oddly enough. Okay, so I'm going to get that curled up in advance there. And this one I'm going to adhere, I think, with just a little bit of liquid glue. So let's just do that on there because it's mostly over the top there. And then I can kind of slide it around to get it in place. Okay, so again, this already is kind of pretty. And it's very clean and simple. I mean, so here, let me just kind of show you the two designs a little bit. I didn't even like zhuzh up these as much as I did. I need to do it more on that one. So it's kind of a good, clean, simple design, but adding that extra in there, I feel like is just really where the magic happens. I don't know how else to describe that. So I'm gonna guesstimate about where I want that, and then make sure that I'm happy. Yep. Okay, so first thing I think I'm gonna do actually is, yeah, I'm gonna plan and I'm gonna make my cut. Okay, this is the moment of truth. Ready? I think I did this a little more like that last time. Okay. Beautiful thing is you really can't go wrong. It's just going to change a little where the placement is the only thing. Okay. And then I'm probably going to have to trim a little more off. So I'll get my paper trimmer back over here in a minute for that. And then let's get this kind of arranged over here. Yes. Okay. So I'm gonna tilt that a little bit there, I think. Actually, I could move up a little. Okay, so I pretty much just want to take a little wedge off of that there. So not too terribly complicated. Just gonna kind of line it up in there and trim that down. Like I said, I could adhere it on and then trim it, but part of why I want to do it in advance is then I can kind of curl up those edges and just get my placement on there pretty perfect. Okay, a little tiny that just feels like a little bit of a loose thread there. So I'm going to cut that off. I'm going to kind of curl up these sides. Did I see Jeff is here? So the curse of technology found me this morning. It was my turn for technology issues. Okay, so I've got these kind of curled up a little bit around the edges. I was going to add them with foam adhesive, but I found with those curled up edges, the liquid glue was just all it needed. So a little tiny bit on there. And then the other great thing about that liquid glue is as you get it set into place, it gives you just that few moments of wiggle room to make sure you have it exactly where you want it. Okay, and yes, I saw someone say this is one of those times when less is not more, it's more is more, right? And I feel like this is that moment. Okay, I'm gonna slide that up just a little, and again, that liquid glue gives me that few moments to go ahead and do that, which I love. And now all we need to do, now that I've got that all lined up there, slide that one over just a smidge. Now we can just add this onto our card base, and then we just need to tuck some bling around. Big old crazy tape runner. And again, I could put foam adhesive behind that, but I kind of found that I've got so much dimension there just with those flowers that I didn't really have to take that extra measure. All right, Carol, this is 100-pound paper. This is the white cardstock is Hammermill, I think. Hold on, I forgot. Give me just a second here. I have to. Every time I forget in here, my heat comes on and I just start roasting in this room with the door closed. So, okay. Fortunately, I've got that app on my phone so I can fix it. So yeah, this is all 100-pound, which is, it's a little less than 110, but it's definitely better than the usual 80-pound lighter stuff. All right, so I did it. I broke out of, I so often just use the same color of jewels, and today I pulled out those purple ones just because this card is so glitzy. I mean, I gotta turn it again. Do you see that gold on there? Ah, it's so addicting. I could just play with this washi all day. I'm not even joking. All right, but I'm gonna focus here. Off the sparkly washi, onto the sparkly bling. It's like a little kid. Sparkle, sparkle. And let's see, just getting all of the different sizes here to tuck around. And I'm kind of being somewhat heavy-handed here with the bling today because, well, you know, because I can. And I might tuck it as I'm looking on here. I put the other bling on the last card before I actually had my finished design idea. So I'm gonna kind of change my bling a little to fit what I'm ending up going with for my design as well. No, tuck that a little higher. Okay. And then getting close to done here, I think. Might go with a big one there. It feels like it needs a little more. Normally I go just kind of in trios, but I'm trying to kind of break it up and do some ones and twos and different. All right. That's funny. Jude. I can say it that way, but I still feel like I'm like a kid messing up an adult word when I try and say that for some odd reason. It's just a hard one for me. Yes, and the bling is, I agree. The bling is like the perfect finishing touch on all of the sparkle on this card. And again, I think you could do this exact same design with the stamp set, and you could totally change the look of it because you could color it in different colors. So, all right, good thing with all of our technical difficulties and switching today, that this was, I mean, as you see with the washi, it makes these designs, this card looks so complicated and like it took so long, and it came together so quickly. Like I said, which was good with all of our, because what time is there now? Oh, see, we're almost going to be done our normal time, and we started 15 minutes late, so way better than I also had a, so that probably was my saving grace this morning, that I actually had a plan. I think if I had been winging it and we'd had the technical difficulties, this might not have ended so well today. At least I didn't have that stress to worry about. Okay, one more. Did I say it once before when I wasn't paying attention? That's funny. Okay, I know. See, I think as soon as I finished this card, when I made it, when I was playing with washi the other day, I sent the photo to Leah and Kinneri, and I was just like, if you could hear me, that's what I'm doing. I'm squealing so loud. I just see that gold. I'm just going to keep sparkling it. Okay. All right. I'm going to go ahead and flip the camera around here so I don't miss when Leah announces our winner. Let me get this changed around so I can say goodbye to everybody. Get the camera up here right. And again, I'm going to remind you that all of this release will be like, I know, right? And the only thing, I mean, I had my card bases and I had that one piece die cut in advance, but that really only took a couple minutes to do that. But all of these will be live in the store on Monday morning. Make sure and check out the awesome blog hop. There will be 10 gift cards up for grabs. There'll be some opportunities to win the whole release. And then on Friday, next Friday, a week from tomorrow, we'll be doing an Instagram hop as well with tons of giveaways there as well and lots more inspiration. So super duper excited for those 2 opportunities and 2 different ways to kind of showcase this release. So there are a total of 5 beautiful washis, and they're coordinating stamp and die sets. So Leah showed one last Tuesday if you missed that and want to go back and look. Sharon, the weather is going between the sun coming out and the sun going behind the clouds. So it was glaring on my desk, so I had to close the curtain again. You can probably see how bright it is. And there we go. Let's see. We have a winner, Kim Crawford. Congratulations. You won today's $15 gift card. If I were you, I would hold on to it and save it for Monday so you have a head start on this fun new release. All right. Well, thank you everyone for coming, for hanging in there with us, for popping over to YouTube when we had Facebook difficulties. Hopefully we can get those sorted out and good to go for next week. Otherwise, we'll just do lots of YouTube live until Facebook can get its act together and we can figure out what we're doing there too. So, all right. Thank you everyone for coming. I hope you have a lovely weekend. We can't wait to see you next week. This new release. Bye for now.